go. Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Turn this down. Okay, good. Hello. I hope I have this on live because that would be beautiful. Hi, I see two people. So it is on live. I hope you can hear me. I'm going to try and speak up. I'm feeling very low tone today. Just soft and gentle, I guess we could put it. I did already pull one card, which I will read, and then I'm going to pull live for the rest of us to view. And we're going to use 3 decks that we haven't used in a very long time, this being one of it, the Love and or Work Through Your Light. And here we go with our message book, Lightworkers book, that we always used to use and get the most beautiful messages from. And then we're going to go to the Fairy Tarot. So I'm only hoping to pull one card from each deck. And then I can always pull a clarification if that's needed. But we're going to start, and I want to know the weekend energy for your person. I have spoken to many people today, and it's only 1 p.m. where I am. And I've done even readings today. And there's readings I haven't been able to do today as well for some reason. Just the energy wasn't, well, actually what would happen is twice decks just flew out of my hands before I was about to do a reading. So I was just like, forget it. So the energy's different for everyone. Personally, I'm feeling very calm, as I said earlier. But also, I mean, I've made some decisions over the last few days, or 2 days, I could say, that have really helped me feel grounded because I set some boundaries for what I want. And you don't have to set your boundaries by expressing them to anyone else. You just have to accept it within yourself. And it literally brushes over this energy of ease on you because you're like, I want this, or whatever your boundary may be. I'm going to go forward like this. And anyone that comes to me like that is a yes or no or whatever. But when you actually really find what you need and really accept that, there is a different energy you'll feel, and it will be calming, okay? So the first message we have that I pulled to check out before I actually got on here, because I like to pull a card or 2 or 10 to see what the energy is before I come on here. Hi, everyone, and thank you for being here, by the way. So the first card I got is Trust the Niggle. And it's funny because sometimes I just do kooky things and I'm like making a song and dance about it. And I'm like, trust the niggle, trust the wiggle. Really, I'm not quite sure what this card is about. We will look into it. This does have to do with the inner feeling and what that's telling you. It brought me back to the reading we did the other day for people feeling like they're karmic. But you really have to go within and trust your... And I only say that because there's 3 people here, but one of them is the one, okay? And she's holding her stomach. That's interesting. She's trusting her gut feeling. That goes back to the sacral chakra we were talking about the other day. Sorry, these, I wish they were just numbered. Thank you. And thank you for this deck. This is from Christine. And she's an awesome viewer on here. Thank you so much, okay? Okay, so what is the feeling trying to tell you? That niggling feeling, that annoying, niggly feeling, that inconvenient, annoying, niggly feeling. Try as you might, it's there, and it ain't going nowhere. Most people spend years ignoring their niggling feeling, throwing their best dollops of stubbornness, ego, and post-realization to numb them out. It's exhausting. And until you face the niggle, life just throws you more bait. Life just throws you more bait to awaken it. Oh, so kind of feeds it. To draw your attention to the light within you that is bursting to come out. So that's really interesting. The niggle is an arrow pointing to what is standing in your way, the relationship, the conversation, the decision, the shift that needs to be made, the stone in your shoe. Have you ever had a stone in your shoe? By the way, tonight, Sylvia and I are doing live on Facebook. If you want to join 2222, it's our regular Friday, and we are giving not one-on-one messages to each person individually. So if you're feeling this niggle, I'll bring this up to Sylvia. Maybe some people want to have a message about the feeling you're getting. Okay. And I think that that's actually a really good idea. I'm going to mention that to her, and the link will be below, and it will be at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. California time. I don't know. I forget her name. Her time zone. So anyhow, often we feel the niggle feeling in our body first. Many people think that intuition is something from the higher realms, but in fact, it's in the body. It is the body that is the intuitive one, working through your senses to deliver vibrational information. This is so true, though. And not only that, our body's what hangs on to our memories. And this is why people do get illnesses that come out, because there's stuff embedded in them, blocking their ways, like they're being blocked from movement. And sorry, everyone, but Mercury retrograde has hit me early, and it always does. It takes just a moment every day to scan your body to receive the intuitive intelligence and act on it quickly. You are being called to face that feeling now. If you don't face it, the universe will throw something much bigger and much more obvious in your path. And then you will likely regret that you didn't answer the niggle in the first place. I know it's scary, but you're safe. Answer that niggle. Well, I'm just reading the word niggle. It just sounds weird. And I'm like, am I pronouncing that wrong? It's Niggle. So anyhow, what this brings up for me is not just for us watching this video, but your person may be feeling that niggle and not answering it. And as soon as I read there that something much bigger will come their way, it kind of gives me a bit of a sad feeling, because to be honest, if you don't listen to that instinctual feeling, no matter what it is, even if it's telling you to stop talking to someone, hi South Africa, even if it's telling you to walk away from someone, it doesn't mean it's saying it's permanent, but it's saying to do it. And it's just like your person, if he is being guided or she is being guided to leave a situation and they're not leaving it, it is literally only a matter of time. And October, as I have said, is a very powerful month. That's why my dream, trust your path too, right? Like that just slid out there. That's why, like in October, my dreams are just unbelievable. Yesterday, I dreamt about someone that had a lot of apple cider vinegar. So I don't know if any of you are having a lot of apple cider vinegar. It was a very unique dream. So I'm not going to talk about it, but there was a lot of apple cider vinegar involved. And if that's you, with a lot, like to the point where you'd keep it outside. Okay. That's how much apple cider vinegar is. In a container outside. That's how much apple cider vinegar the person had. If it was you and you actually have that amount of apple cider vinegar, then let me know. But it was a very unique message. And it also has to do with a collective energy that would have to do with detoxing and cleansing your energy. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Okay, so let's see. I want to pull a card on here with everyone. What else we need to know about trusting this feeling inside us or a person. This is an energy for the weekend. Over the next 3 days, you may actually be coming into your higher senses within your body, though, like within your center, your senses in your center. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it does to me. Your senses in your center. The greater gathering, all is coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. Now, I don't know if you notice on the title, I put, do you feel the hit? Because from the readings I did today so far and the people I spoke to, I got this feeling. I only mentioned it to one because I saw it there. But I got this feeling like a lot of people are almost addicted to that feeling bad, or addicted to making excuses, or addicted to like things that aren't serving them, right? But it's almost like a hit of drugs. That's what the message I got. And it feels good to them. It's because it's what they're used to. They're not used to changing their ways and listening to other people's opinions and taking that in. So I just find it interesting, that intuitive hit. And it is an intuitive hit that's coming in. And then it's like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting my regular, hit. And I want to also give some guidance here. is to don't react. And I mean, I did a reading for one of my beautiful readers who's going to have a baby any day now with her person. And I'll tell you, like, she's realized so much, and she allows me to share her story. So much changes when you get to those levels. And her person are not even actually together just yet, because this brought on even more stuff to learn, more lessons, more baggage, them having a baby together. But the point is what she's learned best serves her is to not react. And what comes out when it's not reacting, when you're not reacting to your person trying sometimes to actually get to you. Sometimes they are literally trying, because as I said, it's like a drug for them to have that repetitive behavior. It's what they know best. It's what they're used to and what feels good to them and keeps them safe. Non-reactiveness. And what she sees and what I see is by her not reacting, so much baggage comes out of the other person. And she realizes even more, that's not me. That's not my problem. That's nothing to do with me. That's you. So just staying calm. And she has a good friend who is educated in relationship advice and all of that. And she calls it the duck. She says, act like a duck. And I guess because ducks are non-reactive, even though they're moving under the water, but you don't see that. And she's like, just non-reactive. So if that helps some of you, I thought it was pretty cool. I'm like, a duck, huh? A duck. So act like a duck. Be a duck. Be a duck is what she said. Be a duck. Okay, so the greater gathering, once again, I'm going to have to, it's not even, okay, here we go. It's not even alphabetical. Okay, you are being called to let your intuition move you physically. So we can't make this up, because this is talking about the fact that your intuition doesn't begin from the higher realm. It begins in your physical body. And here we go in the first sentence. This means that there's a serious message here. You are being called to let your intuition move you physically. Sorry. You are connected to a group of souls who are weaving a web around the planet. And as you travel and share your creations, something is revered. This card is an acknowledgement that you are either being called to connect with others who are like you at a soul level, or that you already are, that are like you at a soul level, or that you already are. That sentence is throwing me off, and it doesn't matter. But the part I love about this is almost that it's telling you to only give your attention and energy and love right now to someone that's on your level. Don't throw yourself off. I feel that message from here. So for some of you that might be having issues with your person right now, don't give it attention. And your gut feeling is probably telling you this is a collective energy that is being brought to the surface to be addressed for those that need to address it. Go connect with people that are in your tribe, or in your soul tribe. And that's a beautiful way to put it. You are being called to gather groups of people, either by leading them or becoming part of a group that supports you in your soul's personal mission. And that reminds me, so if you want to join me and Sylvia tonight, I highly recommend it. I think it's going to be very liberating tonight, because the energy is hurt, sadness, confusion for a lot of people right now. And probably it comes with not trusting your feeling or going with your gut feeling. And as I said, if your gut feeling is telling you don't speak to someone, just don't speak to someone. I don't think your gut feeling says forever. I don't think your gut feeling has a timeline. I think it's just the now, from what I would feel, right? So you're part of a group of souls who agreed to be here at this time in history to heal yourself, your ancestral line, and the planet. Yeah. And I know for 1000%, many of you get that message. And I even actually heard, this is how things come to me, who was it? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I think it's one of my viewers I spoke to. Yeah, she knows who she is. Amazing girl. She was saying her family, like she's very educated, and she's like a university degree, has degrees, and has all these this curriculum, but she can't get a job for the life of her. And she's like, if anyone in her family should be thriving, it should be her. So clearly there's lineage issues for her to break. So many of you will be feeling that. I felt that years ago. I felt like I'm not going to do it the way my family did it. I always felt smarter, not than all of my family members, because I have some really smart family members, but then some of them that didn't have business savvy, or like they didn't get it, or they fell under that like conformity type of thing, right? But I always felt that I'm gonna not be the way that they were or handle things. Even the ones that did well, I feel like they didn't handle it properly, or however, for me, I wouldn't have handled it that way. So anyhow, that message hits home, I know, for many people, because you are going to be the one in your family to do amazing. You are going to be the one to be able to show your family how to do amazing. You are here to heal yourself. And we already have spoken about this like a year ago. Some of us have to help our parents heal too, because it is an attachment, and as hard as it can be. And I go up and down with helping and connecting with my mother, and I know a lot of you do too. But there is something to it. Like, you don't get to leave anyone behind type of energy now. And this is a huge collective time where, like I say, and I say it every day, what you do does affect other people. I'm not saying it's their responsibility or it's your responsibility for their happiness, but just be aware what you say to someone. And I watched a movie last night, The Joker, and that's a very disturbing movie, actually, especially for what we talk about. And I realized whoever writes these movies, I don't watch movies often, they're probably very spiritual. If they understand what they're writing, or like the whole message there, then they're probably very enlightened beings who make movies. I don't know much about it. But in The Joker, now, where was I going with that? Anyhow, I'll tell you, the disturbing part of it is that, it comes back to what we're talking about days ago, where in this case, it was the son being the boyfriend to the mother, kind of, not sexually, but bathing her and taking care of her. Like, the son was almost being like the mother was almost the daughter there. So karma, and what it told me is the karmic doesn't have to be an actual person or an actual like woman, a sexual energy. The karmic can be a mom. It can be that the son has not been able to give up the mother, and they still maybe even live together, or like are together every single day because he's there taking care of the mother now, and basically hindering the mother's progress because she's learned to depend on her son. Anyhow, we are brought here, and many of us who know that, I know I'm brought here right now, like I'm here at this time to learn how to heal. I know that for sure, because I'm so disturbed, or I have been like throughout my life. There's no other way that all of these challenges have come to me through my life, unless I was meant to learn, share, and heal from them, and learn how to heal. And as a collective, I do feel that's the energy. So anyhow, that's what you're here for, and you know it, okay? To raise consciousness so that we can continue to call this magnificent place home for eras to come. One of many consciously choosing to devote your life to something greater than yourself. It's time to call in your tribe by sharing your soul's voice and letting yourself be seen. When you share what is real and true to you, and you share the medicine that you most need, interesting, those who are like you will gather around you. You are your tribe. They are just like you. And just as you are longing and searching for them, they are longing and searching for you too. That's a really nice message. And I do want to say that yesterday I spoke to two different masculines. So the one I'm going to be interviewing on here, which I can't wait, next week, I think on Tuesday. But it's interesting because he said to me, I actually called that out, that I want to start spreading the word and spreading his, whatever his knowledge may be. And the other person I spoke to, because I'm going to be moving soon, I'm ready to move above ground, and I actually have to energetically, because I definitely, after staying at the place I was house sitting, I realized the energy shift and I'm below ground. So I really kind of feel like almost like the roots suck out some of my energy from the trees surrounding me. I know it sounds weird, but it's just what I've come to realize. So when he came here, so I wanted to give my place to someone that, because it's very hard to find an apartment where I am. So I would appreciate it. I wish someone would pass me down what they have, but that's very rare to find. Understandable. It's okay. I'll be fine. But I could at least like spread what I have and like help what I have, share what I have. See, Mercury retrograde. So I could share what I have. And I was waiting for the perfect candidate. And someone had posted on my Instagram, he's throwing this like party and only 10 people are invited. And I'd love to support him. It's a dinner. And it's just for 10 people. And so I'm super excited about that. So I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, here, I want to come. I actually got this special because if you bought 2 tickets, there was only 1 available. There was a discount. So I'm going to take my brother with me. So I'm like, yeah, I want to come. And he mentioned he's sleeping on his ex's couch and, they separated, but they're still friends. And I was like, oh, well, I have a place. Come and see. Maybe you want to take over my lease. And he was so excited. And when he got here, he said he put it out there. He's like, I asked, and he's like, this is the perfect place. And when he was talking, he's like, I'm going to put this here and this. And I'm like, wow, like it's his place. Like I already knew and I got the message, like this has to go to him. Perfect. But the point is I had already put out there, I want to move by January 1st. So the reason I'm telling you this is to actually put out there what you want and watch it come to you. It may not come the exact way, but you have to pay attention. If it freaking comes, well, then take it and see where it brings you. And this leads me back to the Joker movie, which I would kind of recommend watching. It's a deep movie. It's all actually about him. He was a dreamer because he was with his mom all the time. He was delusional too, but he ended up getting his dream, which was to be on this show. And he used to envision it just like it was happening. And that's how you manifest, by the way. So that's a side note. Like, be there, okay? And like, or feel the person breathing on you or feel them right next to you or something like that, okay? So hold the card on your heart and say, I choose now to let myself be seen. I am ready to call in my soul tribe and create a web of light all over the planet. For some of you, you're being called to follow your soul tribe. And I really feel like for some of us, this is the other person that is being nudged that there is a bigger energy here. There is more to life here than what they are doing. And this could also be for you too. But, I do often ask for your person's energy. So I think that comes naturally. We're going to get one card that will give us the energy or advice or whatever. That's good. Let's see. The Undressing of the Salad. I love this deck and I haven't used it forever. So I really need to freshen up. I actually want to take a day and just read over my cards. And because, for this deck, oh my gosh, I did a reading yesterday. This deck, Queen of Swords, is showing up where I dropped it. I did a reading yesterday and I was guided to get the book, okay? And you know what? Because that Queen of Swords just popped up, I'm going to read the message. But I'm going to tell you that the messages in the book, the wording, sometimes, I started saying to myself yesterday, I'm like, you know what? A lot of readers should read from the book because there's wording in there that bring up so much. And it was crazy, the wording for this. I don't know the Queen of Swords, but let's see. The Queen, red-haired, to indicate vibrant activity, is dressed in blue to symbolize intelligence. A symbol of alchemy is by her throne to indicate that her reasoning encompasses all levels, including the quality of the soul and compassion. Wow, that's saying that the Queen of Swords is very balanced. And I'm a Queen of Swords, so that's lovely. Her power leads one to truthful self-analysis and faith in the evolution of the soul towards its creator. Wow. So, for some of you, your power can be that you lead people to realize, to take a look at themselves and basically evolution of the soul towards the creator, towards the greater gathering. So Let's go back. Sorry, I got sidetracked there, but I felt an urge. And that's what I mean. You know, when does anyone say that's the Queen of Swords? When does anyone ever bring that awesome cherry pie? When does anyone ever use that wording? That's why yesterday, after doing that reading, I actually realized, like, lately I have been called to get the books. And there's a reason. Like, who would ever say that? That's the most beautiful, symbolizes intelligence, symbol of alchemy, because she has a little cup here. Wow, it's quality of the soul and compassion. Amazing. Okay. So here we pulled what we need to know about this energy that we were just talking about and the whole thing. Here we go. Undressing of a salad. And often I use a salad as, I do say it on here where I'm like, it's like a big salad. And I just think of Seinfeld and that big salad. But there's a whole bunch of stuff in there, right? Thank you so much. Thanks, Sandra, for being here. I don't know what anyone said, but thank you. Okay. Brian called this painting the dressing of a salad, but in an earlier stage of, the fairies, it was the undressing of a salad. I've combined the names because they show us the important aspect of the card. It's a messy card, by the way. The dressing of the salad requires a good balance. Desperate elements must blend into a tasty whole. Desperate. I wonder why it says desperate elements must blend into a tasty whole. The undressing of a salad requires truly remarkable adroitness. So I'm going to say that probably means balance. At first, one might think it's impossible. Oh, yeah, because this guy is trying to balance. That makes sense. Okay. Let me see. Just truly remarkable adroitness. Okay. At first, one might think it's impossible, but Adroti, I guess that's the person's name, who we see balancing the magical balls, is the fairy of doing the impossible things. He is also the fairy of being impossible and the fairy of avoiding extremes. Sound impossible? Well, of course it is. Both Androdi and Sally crunched over him. The girl, look at that. So this card is much more in depth than I realized. So this has to do with these two figures in the mix of a salad here. Okay, let me see. Both Andrade and Sally. So let's call him Adro and Sally, crouched above him, are intently focused on balancing things. And the large gnome in the center finds this very amusing. Ooh, I wonder if this would be like a devil card, but we'll see. It's not because it's balancing, right? But see that monster in the middle? Okay. He's finding it very funny. He looks in two directions at once. Oh, yeah, his eyes seeing the impossibility of keeping things that are in constant motion in balance at all times. So basically it's saying you can't keep things in balance at all times, okay? Like the juggling act of life, like life. And it is true. There's always going to be ups and downs one way or another, no matter how much you try, but it is important to try. Of course, we fall out of balance. Of course, we occasionally drop the ball. Sometimes we drop the ball or a bird flies by and snatches it from us, and we just have to invent another one. Sometimes this seems as impossible as understanding a salad. There are times when we have to turn bad luck into good, and that isn't always easy, especially if someone else seems determined to turn good luck into bad. Wow, that's interesting. Everything is integrating and disintegrating at the same time. Sorry. Confusion is rightful, but we still try to create order and put things into balance. The whole universe is hurtling through time at an astonishing rate. It's so, for some reason, I feel like this is so hot. So the whole universe is hurtling through time at an astonishing rate as it appears to lurch unpredictably from time to time. It appears to lurch unpredictably from time to time. Sooner or later, Adroy or Sally or both will drop their balls. The scully-looking fellow on the left is clearly waiting to snatch one or two so that he can play too. Or maybe just so that Adroy and Sally cannot. My money is on Adroy, though. He is smart enough to realize that old balls wear out and new ones must be brought into play. He is ready to deal with this. The balance changes constantly, but it is still balance. The actual message for the reading is things are in motion and the outcome is impossible to predict. You guys listening now? Because this is the important message. Things are in motion and the outcome is impossible to predict. A cool head is required to deal with this, as is a readiness to jump in whatever direction seems appropriate. Exercise cool judgment while staying ready for the unpredictable. Sudden changes of fortune may appear good or bad, but they are in flux and can be rechanneled if necessary. Develop pose. Stay calm. Oh my gosh. Remember I said it's a calm, like I'm staying calm. I'm a duck. Be a duck. You can come out a winner here, but it is likely to take concentrated effort. Use power with delicacy and discretion. Interesting. That message is really big. You maybe want to like double check that message. Things will always be, they can be balanced for a bit, but eventually one day, you just wake up and you're pissed, or you wake up and you're extra happy, or whatever it may be. But even in the imbalance is still balance, because that's the only constant thing, is that we know things will change, or consistent thing, we know things will change. Sudden changes in fortune, good or bad, but it is still the flow of life, okay? And I like the part that it says you will come out a winner. You can come out a winner, but it takes concentrated effort. And it really does take concentrated effort for us right now to not overthink this situation. As soon as you start overthinking, I'm going to give you my best advice. And what I do is I back away. Go focus on other stuff. Back away big time. If you really have to and you're able to, go to sleep. Okay, sixth ray of devotion, number 43. This is a message for someone. The sixth ray of devotion bestows the qualities of persistence, unwavering focus, again, right? And intensity of feeling. It is the gift of the strength to move mountains with your will for what you love. When the sixth ray of devotion appears, you are being given guidance that even if you do not seem to have much worldly power right now, the power of your belief can conquer obstacles. The Archangel Uriel helps you receive the balancing of the sixth ray chakra now. Okay, I'm going to stop there. All those messages are fully connected. So you might want to check it out again, just from that part, even just from this card, because that's a huge message, like the actual message there. I really appreciate you all being here. No fear, I am your Lord, and you are my protected angel. I hope everyone's doing well, and thank you, Sandra, again. Have a really good weekend. I'm going to be on tonight with Sylvia. If you want to join us, I'm going to I think the link is already below, actually. It's 2222. We're going to give a personal message to each person, as we do on Fridays, okay? Like, we do have a limited amount, because last time it got huge. So I think we were there for hours, 3 hours or something. But there's enough. Like, I'm sure anyone who really wants to be there, I think that they won't reach the limit. But yeah, it's really interesting. And, if you want personally, I'm thinking like to go with this feeling energy for the readings tonight, whatever your gut feeling, let's talk about that. Maybe the message about that, whatever your gut feeling is trying to tell you. And I hope to see you all there. The link will be below. And thanks for liking us both a lot. Yeah. We definitely work very well together and pick up on not only the missing pieces, but can explain some things, differently is a good way to put it. And when I did the Paris reading with her, the feedback I got from my people about Sylvia was amazing. They were just so amazed. I was like, oh, I'm going to lose everyone to Sylvia. I didn't, but they were just so amazed with the way that she connected with them, and it's different than my message, but the same, and just different, a different view. But yeah, so if you want to join us, we're going to be on Facebook, and it's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For her, it's like 6 p.m. I don't know what time it is, California time. And 22:22. I hope to see a lot of you there. So well, US time is different around the different states, but it's 22:22 the cost of it. And it's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can look that up and see when it's at your time. It's 6 p.m. if you're in California. I know that much. Okay, guys, bye for now. Have a really good day and weekend. Ciao.